I'm going to teach you how to build attraction with a godly woman, and not in a way that brings out lust or boredom in her, in a way that honors her and God at the same time. One of the misconceptions that Catholics and Christians always fall into is that we think our body is bad. We think that our body is evil, that our urges are evil, and especially that we think our urges are bad. On the surface of it, yes, sin can distort our urges, but deeply rooted in us, our urges are good. Think back at Genesis. We are created in God's perfect image. Everything about us is created for a reason. Everything about us is created in His perfect image and made out of love. Our sexual attraction, our urges that we have to want more, to seek more with a partner, they're good. They're inherently good. They're made in God's image. And that's something that took me such a long time to figure out. And it was a big turning point for me, because once I realized that my urges are good, but the way I express them might be sin, that was a big turning point in realizing how I should talk to women, how I should express my desire to women. One of the turning points for me was complimenting a girl's body, but not overemphasizing it. Because our bodies are good, because God made us in our image, we have to compliment the person we're attracted to. We have to compliment her body, but in a way that honors God. So if you put too much of an overemphasis on the body, then that's where lust may come out. But you still have to compliment her body. You still have to compliment it because it's part of God's creation. But it's also a place where many women are insecure. And seeing that and expressing that attraction, expressing that desire, that's what women love. Now, let me give you an example. Say my woman, my beautiful girl, is wearing a dress, and a very beautiful dress. I'll tell her, for example, thank God for the curves that God gave her. Because at the same time I'm honoring her, I honor God. And she sees that. She sees that in my eyes, there isn't any lust. It is not filled with lust. It is filled with godly gratitude that honors her instead of wanting to consume her. And you'll tell the difference. You'll know the difference. If you are complimenting a girl based on the urges inside of you, they notice it. They notice your neediness, and they might not say anything. And most of the time, they don't say anything. But they notice it, and it comes off very needy and very gimmishy. You need a proper approach. So what I mentioned is that you can't have an overemphasis on the body. You can compliment, but when it only becomes about the body and complimenting her body, even if it's in a godly way, it brings out lust. So there needs to be that balance, and it'll be hard. It will be very hard at first because the world tells us either the body is bad or the body is so good, so we just overemphasize it. It needs to be a compliment. When Jesus raised from the dead, it was not just soul, it was body and soul. The body and soul are equally as important. So, using that knowledge right there, we have to find a balance. It cannot be overemphasis on one, because that's just lust. It builds attraction, but it kills love. You overemphasize the just soul that builds love, but it can sometimes kill attraction. You become the good boy Christian who's like very, very lovey-dovey, but doesn't have that attraction. What you want to do is compliment her and honor God at the same time. For example, my curves and honoring God, saying, thank God for the curves that He gave you. That is an honor, that's a compliment that honors her, that makes her feel beautiful on the outside, but also it honors God. And also, you want those compliments that honors her inside, that honors the person that she is, because the body is an expression of the soul. And this won't work with worldly girls, right? We're not here to date worldly girls. You're not someone who, there's a difference between worldly girls and very spiritual girls. The spiritual girls are who we want. The people who think more in depth about why they're here, about, doing good, kindness, loving. We want those type of girls. If you try this on a worldly girl, and this is a great tip for discernment, if you try this on a worldly girl, it's not going to work well. But We don't want those girls. We want the spiritual girls. We want the girls who honor God first. So, a compliment that you can tell a godly girl is saying something very simple, that one of the best compliments I've ever heard. I see Jesus in you. And go in more depth from that. Talk to her and say, I see how much you put others before you. I see your kindness. Like, praise her. Think about as if you're in a movie, and you know how in the movies, like, they talk, like they're in poetry, like they're speaking poetry, like they're reading some poetry. Talk like that. Look at her so deep into her eyes, so deep into her soul. See beyond what other people see. For example, if she has a pretty face, don't just compliment her face. You can, but go even more depth. Say, her smile reminds you of spring. I know it sounds like cringy, but girls love it, especially godly women. They love these specific compliments. They love to show that you're honoring them and not seeking them with lust. You got this. I know you got this. The first step of complimenting a godly woman, of building attraction with a godly woman, is redefining how we see ourselves. Our bodies aren't bad. Our urges aren't bad. The way we express them might be sin, and most of the time is sin. But once we figure out that our bodies aren't sin, that our urges, at the deep root of it, isn't sin, and it's only distorted by sin, which makes it bad, we're able to compliment our woman. We're able to build godly attraction, build attraction that keeps the polarity in the relationship, but also aims it towards God. That be God's will, not mine.